After studying this module, you shall be able to know about starvation, the clinical features of acute and chronic starvation, the autopsy finding in cases of starvation, and the medico-legal issues related with the starvation. I will begin with a quote from Rosalind Russell. Where is there beauty when you see deprivation and starvation? According to World Health Organization, hunger is the single gravest threat to the world's public health. The United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization estimates that about 805 million people of the 7.3 billion people in the world are suffering from some form of undernourishment. Starvation and neglect, though closely associated terms, are not one and the same. So let's understand what are these. Starvation is due to complete or partial deprivation of regular and constant supply of food required to maintain human life. The effects of starvation are denoted by the term inanition, which refers to the exhausted state due to prolonged undernutrition caused by lack of assimilation of food by the tissues. On the other hand, malnutrition is a state that results from taking inadequate food that may be in sufficient quantity and quality for particular period. Cachexia means severe inanition. Emaciation means loss of body weight, whereas neglect implies an act of omission, lack of care or attention, failure or forgetfulness to do something. The usual victims are either very old or very young. They are dependent on others for care making, and that's why they make them the vulnerable group. For the very same reason, many countries have legislation designed to protect children against child abuse. In Britain, the Children Act places a responsibility upon parents, guardians or the community to care for children, while sections 317 and 318 of Indian Penal Code, they address abandoning of infants and concealment of birth respectively as a measure to curb the menace of neglect of unwanted infants. Starvation was previously differentiated in the Nazi concentration camps into two main types, dry type and wet type. Dry type, in which there was emaciation, only leg edema with a body weight up to half of the normal. Whereas wet type, this is described by marked edema of the face, trunk and limbs with ascites as well as pleural effusions. The nutritional marasmus and kwashiorkor are two extreme forms of malnutrition. The marasmus, in this, the subject is emaciated and body weight is less than 60% of the expected weight for that particular age. The skin appears dry and inelastic. Hair are hypopigmented, abdomen is distended due to wasting, and there occurs hypotonia of the abdominal muscles. Whereas kwashiorkor is characterized by growth retardation, psychomotor changes and edema of dependent parts. The edema starts initially at lower extremities and later involves the upper limbs as well as the whole face. The face becomes puffy and appears moon-shaped. The starvation may be classified as acute or chronic. Acute starvation occurs when food and water are suddenly and completely withheld, as in willful withholding of food and also willful refusal to take food. Whereas the chronic starvation occurs when there is gradual deficiency of food over a time, as happens during famines. The obvious and outstanding appearance is of emaciation, which is caused by an inadequate intake of food. A minimum of about 1900 calories is needed to maintain body weight in active adults. There is danger to life when more than 40% of the original body weight has been lost, though the speed of loss is also relevant. Total lack of food will obviously kill faster than a severe reduction, which is in about say 50 to 60 days as long as adequate water is available. But this depends upon weather and temperature as well as fitness of the individual. The lack of water will kill a person in about 10 days. or less in higher ambient temperatures. The cause of starvation may be famine, fasting, malnutrition, overpopulation, poverty, war, anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, depression, coma, as well as gastrointestinal diseases. The malnutrition results from partial deprivation of food over a period of time, which may lead to deficiency of proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals in the body, and where body weight gradually decreases due to loss of carbohydrates, fats and proteins, further resulting in the muscle wasting and emaciation. Superimposed infections or malnutrition syndromes would eventually result in death. The marasmus is usually confined to the description of infants, whereas cachexia refers to acute loss of body weight. The so-called hypocritic facies is not confined to the emaciation of neglect, as cachexia from any cause such as an obstructive carcinoma of the esophagus can give rise to the same appearance. Wasting and marasmus may occur from metabolic disorders, and diagnosis may require detailed biochemical studies which an autopsy alone may fail to reveal. The cause of starvation may be difficult to ascertain, yet the question of neglect on the part of parents or guardians may crop up. Let's see the autopsy findings in cases of starvation. When any case of starvation, death due to alleged starvation comes, the body, the deceased must be photographed from all angles, as well as it must be subjected for whole radiographic examination of the body views of the body with all major views, so as to exclude the possibility of child abuse as well if the deceased is a child. The crown heel, crown rump, head diameter, foot length and exact weight must be recorded. The body usually appears greatly emaciated. Reduced pressure of cerebrospinal fluid may present as depressed fontanelles. Hair may be dry, lusterless, brittle or depigmented. With the help of a flexible tape, diameter of the limbs at recognized landmarks should be measured. We see the skin that becomes pale, dry, coarse, semi-translucent, shriveled, fissured, wrinkled, and when pinched between the fingers, it remains rigid because of the loss of subcutaneous fat and fluid. While the skin of the face, if it is stretched tightly across the cheekbones, the cheeks and the eyes are deeply sunken, the latter being due to the loss of orbital fat and an element of dehydration. The pigmentation, either diffuse or of a punctate nature, may be present, and of course dehydration is a very common finding. The skin infection due to lack of hygiene and pressure sores may occur on buttocks, heels and spinal region, elbows, knees, shoulders or occiput. In infants, urine dermatitis and lack of any skin care after defecation worsens these findings. The limbs are almost skeleton-like with loss of fat and atrophy of muscles, so that the abdomen becomes a scaphoid shape with prominent ribs and concavities in the intercostal spaces and sunken supraclavicular fossa. In children, rickets and dental defects are seen, while in adults, osteomalacia and stress fractures are noted. In chronic starvation, features of edema and ascites may be evident due to hypoproteinemia. The consequent features of nutritional deficiency, such as intercurrent infections, avitaminosis, skin disorders and nutritional edema may be observed. Superadded infections, dehydrations, hypothermia are the most severe manifestations that contribute to death. When we internally examine various viscera, we see the heart is small in size due to brown atrophy. The lungs become pale, collapse and exude very less blood on cut section. All other organs are small and contracted except the brain. The stomach, which is small, contracted and empty with bile stained mucosa. There is loss of adipose tissue in the internal fat depots like omentum, mesentery and perirenal fat. Intestines show atrophy of all the coats, showing extensive thinning out like a tissue paper and translucency of the walls. The lower portion of the large intestines may sometimes contain hard scabrous fecal matter. There may be ulceration of bowel. The kidneys show atrophy of the nephrons. The gallbladder is usually distended and contains dark inspissated bile. The urinary bladder is empty. The samples for sodium, potassium, chloride and urea nitrogen determination should be collected along with the frozen section for Sudan stain and samples for the histological study. The fatal period, if there is total withdrawal of food and water, it goes up to 14 to 21 days. That means 2 to 3 weeks. Whereas with the total deprivation of food only, the person may survive up to 3 to 6 weeks, and even he may survive up to 8 to 12 weeks, or roughly we can say around 50 days. Factors influencing the fatality, like age. Children and infants are most vulnerable. Old persons stand starvation better. Sex. Women stand starvation better than men due to their body fat. Body condition. The fatty and healthy individual stands starvation better. Environmental factors. Exposure to cold and extreme heat shortens life. Then intercurrent infection. This causes early death. Then physical exertion. It will enhance the effects of the starvation. If you see the cause of death, it usually is the exhaustion. Cause of death in cases of starvation is usually due to exhaustion, circulatory failure due to brown atrophy of the heart, or intercurrent infection. Then coming on to the medico-legal aspects of starvation. Starvation may be the manifestation of self-neglect or may be a criminal act. The infants, children and older people are the unfortunate victims of intentional starvation. Starvation may be homicidal also. During Second World War, many people, as we say the helpless Jews, they suffered deliberate starvation in Nazi concentration camps in Belsen and other places in the Germany. Starvation may be accidental if person is caught, or entombment in mines, earthquakes or landslides. Accidental starvation may be seen in cases of flood and famine. Suicidal starvation occurs when someone deliberately withholds food, as seen among prisoners who go on hunger strike as a form of protest. Our father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, he was also known to have done hunger strike as part of non-violence movement against British rule. Many political leaders do the hunger strike for the demands or in protest of injustice. Voluntary starvation is also practiced by some people as a part of religious ceremony or for the purpose of achieving salvation. Article 21 of the Indian Constitution guarantees the citizen of life for right to life and liberty, and food is the basic human need to live life. Thus, in the broader sense, it is the responsibility of a state to provide food for the inhabitants. So, hunger strike in a mentally competent person who has indicated that he has decided to embark on a hunger strike and has refused to take food or fluids for a significant interval. Forcible feeding of person on hunger strike in India, if the hunger strike causes the imminent danger to life as a result of deliberate starvation, such person can be taken into custody by state for forced feeding so as to save his life, because the provisions of section 309 of Indian Penal Code, that is attempt to commit suicide, may be applied in such cases. So that is advocated. That doesn't violate the basic human rights issues. The medical profession and hunger strikers. The doctor treating the hunger striker is faced with the dual facts. On one hand, it is his moral duty to exercise his skills to save the life and act in the best interest of the patients. On the other hand, it is his duty to respect the patient's autonomy. The problem arises when a hunger striker has issued a clear instruction not to treat him against his wishes. Under such circumstances, the moral obligation urges doctor to save the life, but the duty urges to respect the patient's autonomy. So, to sort out this dilemma, the World Medical Association Declaration on Hunger Strikers 1991 states that the ultimate decision on intervention or non-intervention should be left to the discretion of the individual doctor. In view of law, forcible feeding of prisoner against their wishes is not an assault, but quite lawful, because the prisoners are under the care of the state, and the state must take adequate measures to prevent the prisoner from injuring himself or taking his own life. Homicidal starvation may occur in illegitimate children as a part of neglect. The Bombay Children Act 1948 provides a special provision to discourage the neglect of children. It states that whoever having the actual charge of or control over a child willfully assaults, ill-treats, neglects, abandons or exposes him or causes or procures him to be assaulted, ill-treated, neglected, abandoned or exposed, or negligently fails to provide adequate food, clothes or medical aid or lodging for a child in a manner likely to cause such child unnecessary mental and physical suffering shall on conviction be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term not exceeding 2 years or with fine or both. For the purpose of this act, a child means a boy or girl who has not attained the age of 16 years. Section 317 of IPC deals with exposure and abandonment of child under 12 years by parent or person having care of it. The practice of santhara, also known as salekhana or samadhi marna or sannyas marna, is prevalent in Jainism, who perform voluntary and systematic fasting to death, that is suicidal starvation. To summarize the topic of starvation, the starvation is due to complete or partial deprivation of regular and constant supply of food required to maintain human life. Emaciation means loss of body weight, whereas neglect implies an act of omission, lack of care or attention, failure or forgetfulness to do something. The obvious and outstanding appearance is of emaciation, which is caused by the inadequate intake of food. As we know, the minimum of about 1900 calories are needed to maintain body weight in active adults. While conducting the autopsy, the photography and radiography from all the major views should be done so as to also exclude the possibility of child abuse. The consequent features of nutritional deficiency such as intercurrent infections, skin disorders and nutritional edema may be observed. The intestines show atrophy of all the coats, showing extensive thinning out like a tissue paper and translucency of the walls. Article 21 of the Indian Constitution guarantees the citizen of India for right to life and liberty, and food is basic human need to live life. Homicidal starvation may occur in illegitimate children as a part of neglect. The Bombay Children Act 1948 provides a special provision to discourage the neglect of the children, and the section 317 of IPC deals with exposure and abandonment of child under 12 years by parent or person having care of it.